Now first let's understand what is summary completion. Now this passage is about a new fair trade organization. Okay, so here you find that this is a long passage. There's many paragraphs. At the end of this passage, we have a summary. Now this summary is not the summary of the entire passage. This summary is the summary of a part of the passage. Maybe it is the summary of one paragraph or two paragraphs, somewhere in between the passage. Getting it? So our first task over here is to locate that this summary is the summary of which part of the passage. First we need to find out this is the summary of which part of the passage. Which paragraph is it the summary of? That will be the first thing. Now to do that, you can take keywords from the summary itself, or we can take the help of the heading over here. So this is talking about a proposal for regulating multinational corporations. Also, let's read the first statement over here. So the first statement says, see, while you are doing the summary completion questions, do not consider it as summary completion. Can I treat each of the statements over here as sentence completion question? Are you all getting it? Instead of calling a summary completion question, can I say, no problem Rahul, just try to follow this, whatever is going on now. So instead of calling a summary completion question a summary completion question, can I say that it is a summation of many sentence completion questions? Yes, can I say that? Right? So what we'll do is we'll take individual sentences over here and we'll do it the same way we did yesterday. Also, once we have found out the first answer, the challenge is only until we have found out the first answer. Once you have found out the first answer, job is done. All the answers you will get it as soon as you continue reading from the point where you have found the first answer. As you proceed reading, you will get the second, third and fourth answer, the consecutive answers after that. Getting it? So the problem is only until we have found the first answer. Once we have found the first answer, just keep reading from that point and you will keep getting the subsequent answers. So let's read the first sentence over here and we'll treat this statement as a sentence completion statement. The question says, the FTO would determine the dash for the multinational corporations to follow. Now, what can it determine for that the multinational corporations will have to follow? What do you think? Let's try to see where is it talking about. So, FTO can be one of our keywords. Also, multinational corporations can be a keyword. Okay. So, let's see what is it going to determine that the multinational corporations will something rule or a standard kind of a thing that it will establish that the multinational corporations will have to follow. Let's get to the passage. Let's search for FTO. Okay. So here we have FTO. Once you have found out FTO, you should also find multinational corporations. So is it talking about multinational corporations over here? Do you find multinational corporations? No. So let's come down. Next, where do we have FTO? So here you can see that it is FTO is also there and multinational corporations is also there, right? So let's read this. This is saying that, so a second function of the FTO could be to set standards to which those corporations means it's referring to these multinational corporations over here. Those corporations must conform. Guys, what is the meaning of conform? Conform means follow. Yes. No, conform means follow. Rahul. To abide by. Yes, you can say to abide by or to follow, simple words. Right? So it's a paraphrase form. So we have been able to locate successfully the first answer. Now you will continue reading from there and you will find all the answers to be nearby. Okay. So the first answer is, we have found out what will it set? It will set standards that the multinational corporations will have to follow. Now we will continue reading from this point and we will try to get other answers also. Let's read the second statement. In this way, a multinational corporation would have to prove that all aspects of the way it produced its goods and the systems for their dash to customers was in line with the FTO requirement. Let's understand the statement. So you will have to prove that the way a multinational corporations, okay, in this way a multinational corporation would have to prove that all aspects of the way it produced its good and the systems for their dash to customers what was in line with FTO requirements. Means what? you have to prove that your way of manufacturing goods or producing goods in the production also, you are following the rules. Was in line with means what? Was in line with the FTO requirements. You are following the rules, right? So you have to make sure, yes, you have to follow the rules. So you have to make sure that you are following the rules while you are manufacturing it. Okay, so first you produce the goods, production, and they're dashed to the customer. So after the goods are produced, what do we do? Dash to the customers. What do we do to the customers? Now try to get it from here. Now continue reading from there and give me the second answer. Supply, no. Manufacturing, and first you manufacture it and then what you do? Okay. Check, no. Saurabh, look over there. Export, no. Ankita, where is the word export, Ankita? See, try to understand. Okay. First you have to manufacture. See, the entire information is there in the passage, but the words that they have used is different. Try to understand. A corporation would not be permitted to trade between nations unless it could demonstrate that at every stage of manufacture, so manufacture means the way it produced its goods, and after it is produced, what do? You distribute it to the customers, right? So manufacture and distribution, its own operations and those of its suppliers met the necessary standards. So they have to first show that in their operations they are following the rules, and then they have to make sure that even their suppliers are following the rules, right? So what do? After manufacturing, it's the distribution to the customer. So the answer is distribution. Next is similarly. It would need to satisfy the FTO that the processes employed by any dash that it used were also acceptable. So you should follow the process, and who else should follow? Your what should be the answer? Measures, no. No, Rahul. See, who has to follow? First, you have to follow the rules while you are manufacturing. Okay, while you are manufacturing, you have to manufacturing and distribution. You have to follow the rules. Then who else has to follow the rules? You have to make sure that even the no, not consumers. See, there is a grammatical error in the question over here. The answer is actually suppliers, but you cannot use suppliers actually, right? So there's a grammatical error in the question. No, it is suppliers. Similarly, the suppliers are also need to follow the rules, right? See, what is the question saying? Similarly, the FTO, it would need to satisfy the FTO that the process employed by any suppliers that it used were also acceptable. So here you can see, first it has to show that they, while manufacturing and distribution, they are following the rules in its own operations, and those of its suppliers also. So they have to make sure that when they are that their suppliers are also following the rules. They have to ensure this. As an illustration means what? Example, right? Yes, as an illustration means example. So as an example, in order to source cocoa from Africa, a corporation would have to ensure no illegal dash were being used. Let's stop over there and let's see. If you want to source cocoa from Africa, what do you need to ensure? No illegal dash were used. What should not be used? No, Rahul, read it. Try to understand. Okay, okay, good. Yes, so instead of banned, they have used illegal in the question, right? So banned pesticides. They should not use banned pesticides. Next, by the dash. So who should not use these banned pesticides? The people who are growing cocoa. Who is growing cocoa? Yes. No, 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 no. Manufacturers, but yes. Who are the manufacturers of cocoa? Whom are you buying it from? You are buying it from the plantation owners, right? Who should not use the pesticides? The plantation owners should not use the pesticides, right? Good, good. Okay. Like you have to show that while the plantation owners it bought from were not using banned pesticides. So who were not using banned? The plantation owners who are growing the cocoa. In that process of growing cocoa, they should not use pesticides, illegal pesticides, or banned pesticides during cultivation, and that they had not taken over land from dash. So they should not take land from what? Let's see. Okay, all of you. Mm, all of you got it. Protected forests, not just forests, Ankita. Protected forests. So they should not have taken land from protected forests. Okay, good. It would not be sufficient for multinational corporations to say that these points have been checked. Their conduct would have to be inspected by dash appointed by the FTO. So FTO is going to appoint someone who is going to inspect their conduct. So whom is the FTO appointing to assess their conduct? Okay. Rahul, is it monitor? Check it again. Monitor, or see, for these small mistakes you lose marks in the exam. No, no, no. Monitors. Monitors it is. It is not monitor. If you write monitor, you lose marks. Ankita, monitors it is, no? See, the company's performance. Performance means what? Conduct. Would be inspected. Inspected means assessed by monitors. Who will assess it? Monitors accredited to the organization. Accredited to the organization means appointed by the FTO.